Hey, good evening, guys. So today again, I'm giving a new video for the economics, which my topics is related to elastic and inelastic. So, this is my second video. First, I'll give you the example, very basic example. Have you ever wondered why a small 10% increase in the price of the petrol makes many people grumble but still fill up their tank? And while the same 10% price jump in the cost of the new smartphone can cause sales to crash dramatically, the difference so that we need to understand what is the elasticity. So when you look at my picture, right side, elastic and inelastic, I've given some example also. So today I want to take you on a clear practical journey through one of the most useful concepts in all economics, elasticity, and why it is a matter for the business, governments and banks, even for own your wallets. So let's start with a big picture. Elasticity is simply a measure of in tells us like how sensitive the quantity demanded or supplied is when there is a change in the price. So that only two things we need to understand, then we can easily understand elastic and inelastic. In competitive market, tiny price movements can cause huge swings in behavior for the some product, while for the other price can rise sharply and people hardly change how much they buy. So now here we need to understand then what is the difference, what makes elasticity such powerful lens for understanding real world markets. So when you take look at my picture, right side, elasticity is in red and the inelastic in the green. And I have also given some examples also in the points. So like elasticity measure responsible to price change in the competitive market. And my fourth point is like luxury items often display high elasticity due to discretionary consumer spending. But when I talk about my the next slide, we more understand about the those two terms, elasticity and inelasticity. So here, when you look at this slide, so let's begin with the most famous one, price elasticity of the demand, and PED for the short. And this formula is a beautifully simple, like a PED equal to percent of change in quantity demanded and divided by change in price. Now we'll understand. We always use absolute value, absolute value when classifying elasticity, because the sign is almost always negative. Price up, quantity down. But we care about the side of the reaction. So that we need to understand how we calculate the formula. And you can see the formula in the top in PowerPoint. So now we can talk about the three things. PED is greater than, PED is less than, and PED equal to 1. So first I can talk about the elasticity demand if PED is greater than 1. What is the meaning? Like if a small percentage increase in price, example, just take the example of the smartphone. If a small percentage increase in price causes a larger percentage decreases in the quantity demanded. So take the iPhone example, and consumer are very, because here consumer are very sensitive. So this is a perfect example. And second point is in a period is less than, we need to understand inelastic demand. Period is less than means price can rise quite lot, but quantity demand falls into little. Just take the example very like petrol, because petrol is very necessity for everyone, every consumer. They want petrol to go anywhere. So even sometimes the price has being up, but still people are buying the petrol. So here we can say consumer are not very sensitive, but in the if the PID is greater than 1, so then consumer are very sensitive. So this is a very basic difference. And now fourth point is PID equal to 1. What is the mean PID equal to 1? The here when you understand period, the percentage change in quantity exactly matches the percentage change in the price, the balance perfectly. So generally these things happen when the like take any example like we are like living in the perfect economy world, so everything is balanced out. So this picture you guys can easily understand. So now I'll jump into the slide number 3. And also, I just want to talk, yeah. So slide number 3, where I give some example. So what is the main difference, elastic and inelastic? So these are the and these are the some key takeaways also. So and this in the future you can download this PPT also. So, elastic demand example, luxury goods like designer handbags, high-end restaurants, overseas holidays, premium coffees. Most people can easily delay, switch brands, or simply go without if the price jump too high. So this is a perfect example of the elastics because this is not a necessary items for the average people. And for the inelastic demands example, I'll just go through. Inelastic demand example like insulin for diabetics, petrol for people who drive to work every day, electricity in the short run, salt, basic medicine. Those are often called necessity. These are necessity items. People have few good alternative but can't easily cut back. So these are the thing we need to understand what is the elastic difference in elastics. And here is where elasticity becomes really powerful, the decision making, especially for the business and government. If you're understanding the economics, if you understand elasticity and elastic, we can easily take any decision. And also we know the one of the formula, total revenue equal to price into quantity. So when you change the, I'll just give the example. When you change the price, two things more in opposite direction, but price goes up but quantity usually goes down. So what happened? The on revenue depend more entirely on whether depend is elastic or inelastic. So I'll just take the example as a I'll go back. If we just take the key takeaways point, if the PAD is greater than 1, means if rising pricing is dangerous, the drop in quantity is so low that total revenues actually falls. Understand? So what happened, because price isn't going up and demand will go down like quantity, then what will happen? Your revenue will go down. So best strategy is what will be the best strategy? Lower price to increase the revenue. And the second point is PAD is less than 1. Rising price is smart, but quantity falls only little. So total revenue actually goes up. So so here if we are increasing a little price, example the petrol price, because it's inelastic, still people are buying. So this is the best strategy, increasing prices to boost revenue instead of decreasing a revenue. So and that's why you see very different prices strategy across the industry. And luxuries fashion brands have sales and discount because the demand is elastic. Pharmaceutical companies can raise price significant on life-saving drugs because the demand is inelastic. These are the perfect example. And government know this too. That's why cigarette tax keep rising in most countries. Demand for cigarettes is quite inelastic, especially among regular smokers. So government can increase the tax, price goes up, quantity falls on a little. So and tax revenues increase substantially. Though that we need to understand. If you understand all this point, we can easily understand. So now I'll jump into my slide 4th. So slide 4, let's switch to slide 4. As far as we have been looking at the buyers, but the producer matters too. Uh, Price elasticity of supply measures how quickly and easily producer can change the quantity they supply when price changes. This classification we can again easily understand like a uh, PEES. Here is a PES means price elasticity of supplies, not the supply. Producer can quickly increase output when prices rises. Example, digital products, apps, ebooks, streaming subscription, many manufactured goods with spare factory capacity. And here the second point is PES less than 1, inelastic supply, very difficult to slow or to increase production even if the price rise a lot. So example, house takes year to build, rare earth metal, concert tickets at a fixed venue, fresh strawberries during a winter. So these are the perfect example of the inelastic supply. Hard to when you read the example, it's already cleared. I already mentioned, and also in the real world case, you have probably experienced like a Uber surprises during a sudden rainstorm on New Year's Eve. Demand for the rides shoot up, and demand curve shift dramatically to the right. But in the very short run, the number of drivers is almost fixed. So supply is high inelastics. So results, prices surge and even higher, three times, four times, and most people still accept the ride because the alternatives are very, very worse. So that we need to understand the real-time example. And because I've already crossed 10 minutes, so I'll finish within a couple of minutes. So my last slides is just I'm wrapping up because elasticity is everywhere. So let me leave you with this thought. Once you understand elasticity, you start seeing it everywhere. You budget airlines, lower price aggressively while Emirates keep premium prices high, and why government tax product like alcohol, tobaccos, and security drinks. Why ticket scalpers can charge huge marks up and sold out concert. Why Black Friday discount works so well and TV and headphone, but so much for the petrol. Elasticity is not just a theory. It is one of the most practical tools for understanding why prices behave the way they do, how businesses make money, and how governments raise revenue without destroying markets. So that we need to understand. The next time you are shopping, paying a bill, and complaining about a price increase, ask yourself: is demand for this product elasticity or inelasticity? So then we can understand more in detail level about the elastic elasticity. Your answer will tell you whether the seller is likely making more money or losing money from that price change. So this is in my second class. Thank you so much for your attention today. I love to hear from you. And so what is the most elastic and most inelastic thing you personally so this is a now again enjoy the rest of the day, and if you like my this YouTube channel, please subscribe and forward to your family friends. Thank you so much. Bye.